Welcome. My name is Jack Colreavy, Associate Director at Barclay Pearce Capital. Today, we're shining a light on ASX-listed consumer healthcare company Wellnex Life, which trades under the ticker WNX. Today, we'll cover off on some recent acquisitions and the exciting international growth opportunities ahead for the stock. My guests today are Mario Tascone, the Chairman of Wellnex, and George Karafotias, who is the CEO. Welcome, guys. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Jack.
Thanks for having us.
Mario, look, I'll kick off with you because you're the newest face to the team at Wellnex. You've recently come on as the chair of the board. So firstly, welcome.
Thank you.
But many would be unfamiliar with your background. So do you mind sharing with us your professional history?
I'm a pharmacist by trade, so from uni in the late 80s, and worked inside what is now called CW Retail, the Chemist Warehouse Group. Started here as an intern way back in 1989. Became a pharmacist, qualified as a pharmacist, managed a few shops, then bought a few shops with the founders over many years. And in about 2007, I moved into the role of Chief Operating Officer. And that's when Chemist Warehouse really started to grind, and we grew. And been pretty much in that role ever since. Now I have a couple of other people that report to me because operations is such a big part of what is become such a big beast over the last few years. So my official title is Director. I sit on the Chemist Warehouse board and have been for since its inception pretty much. So that's my history. I've overseen the Chemist Warehouse rise, which has been quite a long journey over many decades.
So pharmacy, consumer healthcare, very much in your DNA, and I think Wellnex is very lucky to have someone of your caliber helping steer direction and strategy. George, I'll turn to you and let's talk a bit more about Wellnex. So the company recently made what I would call a transformative acquisition in the form of PainAway, and that's really an iconic Australian pain relief brand. Can you talk to us about what was the reasoning behind the acquisition and how it's performed since you've taken it under your umbrella?
Yeah, good question, Jack. So, when we identified or when we came to know that PainAway was potentially up for sale, it sort of made perfect sense for Wellnex. We are a young company. We're only 2.5 years into our journey. We've got a lot of young developing brands. And when you have a brand like PainAway that's been in the market for close to 25 years, it's got a long history of growing revenue. It's got high margins. But the other thing that appealed to us, it's got a lot of untapped potential. Thanks for the infrastructure we've got, we can really expand on it. There is, some low-hanging fruits by expanding further into grocery, which is severely under trades at the moment. It does no international sales. And it's always been a topical pain relief brand. And we think there's scope to further expand the product offering into other categories. And we're looking at the moment, with the help of the board led by Mario, there's some really exciting things that we're looking at the moment that can really grow this brand to the next stage. And how's it performing? It's performing as we expected. It's performing based on the numbers that we saw from the previous vendor. What's really pleasing for us and what was really important for us is to make sure that margin was there for us, and it is. And that's what's going to turn the whole group into a profitable organisation, and that's really critical. And that's one of the reasons that we fought so hard last year with the help of Barclay Pearce Capital to secure the brand in December. And it's transformed the company. It's given us scale. It's given us a lot of credibility. And it's given us the opportunity to really allow the other brands to naturally grow, and because they are young and they've got a lot of growth to do. And we're only as marathon. Mario's a marathon runner, and I'll put in this analogy: we're in a 42K race. We're only probably at the second kilometre. We've got a long way to go, but it's exciting where we're heading.
Yeah, and I love that metaphor. I have marathon heritage as well, so it's great to see such a mature brand there helping the stable of young brands and sort of leading together for future growth. So, I mean, we've talked so much about the domestic market, but Wellnex has a huge opportunity in terms of international growth. Mario, can you speak to some of the exciting growth opportunities just in 2024 for Wellnex?
Well, just in the immediate rise, I mean, George is right. The company is in a really exciting stage. It's that transformative stage. And, the launch is imminent of our products through Haleon in the UK and the UAE. And it's exciting times. The first time the company will generate revenue outside of Australia and New Zealand, and we're really pumped about that. That's a game changer for us. And this comes on the top of our largest shareholder, who's Homemate, using their extensive distribution network to take all of our brands into that lucrative Asian market. And there you're talking a whole other level. So really exciting times ahead.
And I guess part of building that international Wellnex brand is the recent decision to dual list the stock on the London Stock Exchange. George, can you elaborate on the reasoning behind it, and also what went into making the decision in terms of due diligence and market research?
So let me start with the second part of your question. We were approached through Barclay Pearce Capital in September about the possibilities of taking this company into the London market. At that point of time, we were still going through the PainAway transaction, and it just didn't seem the right time to complicate the story as we were trying to raise money here in Australia. But we kept in constant dialogue with all the advisors that in London over that period of time. And when we completed the acquisition of PainAway in December 2023, we engaged with all the London advisors through Barclay Pearce Capital and really explored the opportunities that a potential London listing would bring to Wellnex. And I must pay, special mention to the board. They've been very supportive to the management team here at Wellnex and provide us with guidance, and got really actively involved in making sure that the decision to go to London is the right one for the company moving forward. The other thing I would say is that, it was an extensive due diligence process. The board and management met with the London advisors on multiple times. We did conduct a very wide institutional roadshow, no deal roadshow, to make sure that, what the advisors were telling us was actually backed up by, at the end of the day, the most important parties to this listing is the investors. And the feedback that we've got is, it's a phenomenal story that we've got here. We're severely undervalued on the ASX, and there's lots of opportunities to really widen the awareness of the company in the investment market, which is really, really important. At the moment, our register is very institutional light, and what this will bring us is a wide range of institutional investors based in the UK onto our register. It'll also give us a lot of exposure. And as we're growing internationally, as Mario just pointed out, it does add a lot of credibility. And the other thing I will note in regards to London and why we've chosen London, it is a home to a lot of the largest pharmaceutical companies in the world, and including, one of our strategic partners in Haleon. So it just made perfect sense. So we're really excited. We've started the journey. The board's been an amazing support for the company, led by Mario. And, hopefully in the next 2 or 3 months, we're going to see some really exciting news coming through.
Yeah, I'm completely sort of mirror your comments there. Haleon is a big brand in the UK. It is listed over there, and it adds a lot of credibility for the Wellnex brand. So I think summing up, Wellnex is a stock to watch. Recent acquisitions adding high margin business to the financial statements, and then also massive growth opportunities internationally. So for investors who would like to invest into Wellnex, it trades on the ASX under the ticker WNX. And if you'd like to learn more, please click the link in the description. Thanks for your time today, guys. Really appreciate it.